Hi, my name is Brigitte Lenormand. I'm the principal investigator on the project Rijeka and Flux. I would like to share with you a mobile phone app that I and my collaborator John Corbett created with the help of a team of researchers from across Europe and North America. The app was developed at UBC Okanagan and was funded by an Insight grant from the Social Science and Humanities Research Council of Canada. The mobile phone app, Rijeka Fiume in Flux, aims to find new ways of sharing knowledge about the history of a contested city. The city in question, Rijeka in Croatian or Fiume in Italian, has a turbulent past. In the course of the 20th century alone, it belonged to 6 different states, although one of them was never formally internationally recognized. Changes of sovereignty were accompanied by contestation over the true identity of the city, which in turn was reflected in competing narratives about a multicultural city, an Italian city, a Yugoslav city, or a Croatian city. How do we share knowledge about Rijeka's history in a way that does justice to its complexity? How can we engage groups that are not normally interested in reading academic history? The Rijeka in Flux project aims to share the research of numerous scholars with a broad audience in a way that empowers each user to explore multiple possible narratives about the city's past. It uses mobile phone technology to engage groups that are not traditional consumers of academic knowledge. It enables users to engage with the history of the city through a selection of markers that mark places of significance in the city, which users can explore in a variety of ways. They can opt for a curated experience, such as a thematic guided tour put together by one of the researchers. Alternatively, they can browse markers according to a time period that interests them, types of markers, or by the name of the landmark. While virtual tourists can use the app, you can also allow your own wanderings through the city to determine your encounters with the past, using an augmented reality feature. These different features allow users to combine and recombine markers into different constellations, suggesting different stories, including unexpected and unforeseen ones. In this way, it aims to disrupt entrenched and exclusionary narratives and to generate new insights into the complex history of a fascinating place. Let me take you on a short guided tour of the app. When you first upload the app, remember to allow it to enable your camera and location. These are essential functionalities for the app to work properly.
The first screen you encounter provides you with a series of options: self-guided tours, panoramas, the search function, markers that are near me, my markers, and the About page. The tours are the most curated of all the features. They represent one researcher's attempt to make connections with markers related to a particular theme. Concrete Jungle, curated by Natasha Yankovic, is an exploration of the city's concrete architectural heritage. Hidden Rijeka, curated by Vjeran Pavlakovic, highlights landmarks in the city that have since been erased. Blended City, Divided City, curated by Gruja Badescu, examines the multicultural heritage of the city, as well as the impact on the built environment of the border that ran through Rijeka after the First World War. Ghosts of Rijeka, curated by Marco Abram, reflects on the long shadow of 2 important historical figures who impacted the city, Gabriele D'Annunzio and Josip Broz Tito. People on the Move, curated by Francesca Rolandi, examines the impact of migration on the city's evolution. Visitors also have an opportunity to enjoy a sample of the city's most prominent landmarks in the city center through The Essentials. If you click on a tour, you get this screen that gives you a snapshot of what it's about. Then you can click on Map, and then you can start the tour. As you can see, it takes you to a starting point, and then you can click on a marker. Then you can go to the next marker and open that one up. And so forth, and so on, until you get to the end of the tour. The Panorama function is not yet fully developed, but it will allow inhabitants to look at numerous markers from a single location, either the breakwater or Trset Castle, which provides a bird's eye view of the port and the city center. The search function allows users to explore markers according to their interests. They can browse markers according to categories, which group markers according to the kind of activity associated with the sites: industry, infrastructure, military government, public spaces and monuments, political or cultural associations, and education, residential, or leisure. If you click on a category, let's click on industry, for example, you can see all the industrial markers. If you click on map, you can see them at a glance. Right away, you'll notice they're mostly clustered along the coast. What's this outlier located inland? If you click on the marker, you'll find out it's the paper factory located along the Rijeka River. The river water was essential to its production process. If you're wondering about the color of the markers, we have brown and orange here. The color indicates the time period which the marker was first associated with. And as you can see, they all have wrenches indicating that they're industrial markers. In fact, you can also explore markers by time period. Let's go back to the search function, click on periods, and then click on Habsburg Empire. And at this point, I'll note that you can explore markers using a list function, which brings up all the related markers in a list format. You can look them up in augmented reality. I'll say more on that later. Or again, you can click on the map function. All the markers are the same color now, but they have different icons. Again, those indicate what category they belong to. Let's take a closer look at one marker to see what it contains. This is the Municipal Seaside Resort. You can scroll through the images that are associated with this marker. Then you can click on the image, and there's a caption underneath providing some detail as well as the source information. If you want to get a better view of the image, you just have to turn your phone sideways. Below the photo, there's a description of the marker. You can click on Read More to get all the text. At the bottom, there's a link to references in case you'd like to read more, as well as the name of the researcher who created the marker. Some markers also have videos. You can also share the marker with someone else or designate it as one of my markers by clicking on the heart. You can also search markers by researcher. This might allow you to become familiar with a particular researcher's interests. If you look at me, for example, you'll notice there are a lot of markers associated with the city's maritime activities and with infrastructure, reflecting my interests. Finally, you can search for markers according to title keywords. For example, if I type Slovenian, I get the Bazovica Slovenian Cultural Association. Let's go back to the main menu. If you've designated any markers with a heart, then when you click on My Markers, it will call them up. And here you can see the Municipal Seaside Resort. The app can be used by users who are far from Rijeka, but those who are in the city can use one of its neatest functions, augmented reality. You can access augmented reality using the Near Me function. You just click on the AR button at the top. You can also access AR while using the search page.
Unfortunately, because I'm currently far away from Rijeka, I can't demonstrate this feature to you. The augmented reality mode works with your camera. You hold the camera up and the markers appear. They're larger if they're closer to you and smaller if they're further away. You can click on a marker and bring up the information card. The augmented reality feature makes it possible for you to follow the inspiration of the moment. Where will the city take you? The idea behind this feature is to enable embodied experience of the past. We were motivated by the following question. Do we experience and understand the past differently when we combine it with our sensory experiences? Does our movement through the cityscape, for example, lead us to encounter markers in a particular sequence? Does sensory information, such as scale, exposure to the elements, and topography, add to the information in the markers in a meaningful way? Does this experience allow us to discover or create new narratives about the city's past? We hope to develop some insights into embodied experience of the app with the help of the app's users. We hope you've enjoyed this short introduction to the app. And we hope you'll download the Rijeka Fiume in Flux app in the Google Play Store or the Apple Store. We would love to hear back from you. Send us an email to rijekainflux@gmail.com. Thank you for listening and best of luck. Enjoy the app.